So typically with bench, I'm currently training everything twice a week. I'm training bench twice a week, squat and deadlift twice a week. One bench session will typically be a heavier one, closer to a competition style, so a wider grip with a pause. We may do that. Floor press, it may be on a bench, maybe feet down. Another session will be more geared towards bench, but focused on shoulders and triceps and less on a heavy bench. So say if I walk you through a heavier bench session, say I come in, I'm doing a 3x5 competition standard, so that would be with a pause. It'd be at a decent weight and decent percentage. So 3x5 is the same sort of thing. We're working up, typically jump up 3 or 4 warm-ups. So maybe 60 kilo, 100 kilo, 140, maybe the last one at 160 or 170, then onto working sets. And then we do the 3x5 or so, 3x6, something around that range off season, just trying to build strength, always still trying to maintain technique. Secondary muscles and secondary movements are basically going to come down to, I guess, what's your weakest link. So for myself, I know I need more lockout work, I need more tricep work, so my secondary movement will always be something that targets the triceps more. So we're looking at pin press, close grip with feet up, a Spoto press where you pause the bar an inch off your chest. So the point of the Spoto press, Eric Spoto, absolutely fucking massive dude, he could not always touch the bar to his chest. He was that friggin' built, and he did a lot of his reps bodybuilder style where he just paused it just off the chest, create a load of stability. So more time under tension for your muscles. Just variations that make the lift harder in that area where you're weaker. So after 3x5 or so on bench, we'll go into some more volume work and more sets, more work on the variation where you suck. So you find something that you're terrible at and you just hammer it basically. That's the best way to do it. Hammer it with volume, hammer it with a decent amount of weight, never let your technique compromise. So triceps, close grip press, so we hit that. Other muscles involved in the bench, you've got your triceps, your shoulders, your lats. Train upper body twice a week, bench twice a week. So we want to be hitting them muscle groups with your bench. After the close grip press, may work onto some shoulder pressing, maybe some pull-ups, some pull-downs, just trying to target all the muscles. We'll do that twice a week. On the second bench session, it may be a lighter session where you focus more on the pecs, so a couple of sets of light bench, so we're talking 8, maybe 12 reps, maybe do it with feet up, so you're working on your stability a bit more. Later on in that session, be working with pec flyers, maybe dumbbell press. Triceps would not be a main focus there, as you've already hammered it on your heavy bench day, so maybe just some push downs at the end, but still trying to get in a good amount of shoulder work, maybe some lateral raises and plenty of rows, because basically you can never have a strong enough back, you can never have strong enough triceps. Triceps going to lock the weight out, that's where you're going to feel the weight through your arms, but your lats basically, that's your base for every lift, for your squat, bench and your deadlift. If your back's big, you'll be strong. Some of the variations we have demonstrated today, some we've had Stella go through, would be close grip bench with your feet up. You can do this with a pause, you can do it without a pause. It's basically making the range of motion longer, it's making it a more difficult lift, putting the triceps under more stress, and basically you're under more time under tension throughout the whole lift. It's just going to target your triceps more. It's the same concept that we do with the Spoto press, only that is more so focused on positioning. If you're someone who loses position in the bottom of a bench, you find you can't hold tension, this basically reinforces that if you lose position on a Spoto press, you're not going to finish a lift, you're going to be in a bad place. So you're bringing the bar down to about an inch off your chest, hold that for a second in a full lockout. We do that for sets and reps. But again, that's going to reinforce good positioning, make sure everything's in line. So that would basically cover it if you struggle at the lockout. You get your close grip with your feet up, Spoto press, pin presses, plenty of tricep extensions, Just don't overuse them and batter your elbows, or you'll never get the bench that you want. I've been, fallen into that category before when I've thought more is better, and just not recovering enough, you end up with banged up elbows, and then you'll never bench press. If you're someone that struggles with chest speed, just getting enough momentum, a lot of that's going to come down to your lats and your triceps. So make sure you're doing plenty of rows, plenty of pull downs, pull-ups, but also lots of heavy shoulder pressing. Favorite variation would be a pin press from down here. So if you're sitting on a military bench, just pressing off pin, full range of motion, or strict overhead press. And this is going to target all heads of your shoulders, and it's probably the best accessory for building up a big bench, is having a strong overhead. So basically, in conclusion, when programming a bench session or trying to plan out what you want to do, you do have to look at your own lifts, and it's important to kind of visualize what's going on. So video them yourself. If you notice you're slow off the chest, you need to work on your shoulders and your lats a bit more. If you struggle towards a lockout or things get a bit sticky up there, incorporate more close grip pin presses, spotter presses, and then basically work the session out backwards. So you get your main bench work done, secondary, where am I weak? I want to attack that for volume, and make sure you're hitting all the muscles, so your shoulders, your lats and your triceps all within one session, and don't neglect your pec work.